So, you want to hear another story, huh? One where the very fate of Pandora hangs in the balance? If not, too bad, I'm telling you anyway.
September 18th, 2012, Gearbox dropped the successor to its massive hit, Borderlands, and I played the entire thing after nearly 11 years. Here's the play-by-play and my opinion on the game. Immediately upon opening the game, it opened in 4.3. Most games past 10 years old without major updates start to feel their age a bit, but it was jarring to my toddler brain that's used to 1080p and no black bars. Figuring out how to record this game was also a challenge. Once again, it's over 10 years old. And the first time I launched it, it straight up wouldn't reopen when I tabbed out. And then I started the game and watched about 5 minutes of cutscenes, basically just explaining that we're on a planet called Pandora, and there are these vaults with crazy shit in them. And this guy named Handsome Jack, who is basically Jeff Bezos of space, is trying to open one. And if he does, then something bad will happen. And then I chose my class. I play Zero because I'm edgy and cool. And I woke up to myself freezing to death before meeting the funny robot guy, where he then took me to the funny cave and my first grumble with the game began. And it's that Claptrap is kind of annoying. Yeah, he's funny, but he can be a bit grating, especially early on when he's with you for damn near every mission you do. Also, the hints about Knuckle Dragger taking his eye feel a bit on the nose, although I get that they were trying to be funny, so it's not that big of a deal. After that, I continued on to the rest of the glacier and fought with Knuckle Dragger, and the fight was kind of bland. It's fine, because it's just the starting mini-boss, but regardless, I killed Knuckle Dragger and went to this Hyperion barge where I got a new shotgun and took Claptrap and his eye to Liarsburg. Also, I got to try out my new shotgun there, and I got a better feel of this combat, and it's fine. Some of the guns feel a bit clunky to use, and some of the sights in ADS are borderline useless. And after vanquishing the bandits in Liarsburg, I met Sir Hammerlock, who I hate because he's British. He reinstalled Claptrap's eye and then gave me the mission, "This town ain't big enough." Yeah, the soundtrack goes hard. Regardless, I continued to the Shielded Favors mission, where I noticed the shaky and annoying ADS. It's not horrendous at medium range, but trying to use anything except a sniper at long range is awful. Regardless, I scraped together enough pocket money to buy a funny shield and finish this mission. Then I did Bad Hair Day, which involves taking Bullymong's fur for either Claptrap or Hammerlock. Claptrap gives you a shotgun and Hammerlock gives you a sniper, so I went with Hammerlock even though he's British, just because I didn't already have a sniper. And this motherfucker gave me a sniper that I cannot use. Then I listened to Handsome Jack kill an innocent woman and help Claptrap through the glacier, where I reached level 5, unlocking my sniper and my deception ability, which is cool. You can send out this little hologram thing and you can send one bullet that will do increased damage if you wait for your ability to be up. Then I went on to absolutely wipe the floor with Boom Boom and go on to the funny Dragon Ice Castle thing. And Claptrap got taken by some bandits, who I killed, and then I met Captain Flint, who gave me my first death. That first run I struggled, but on the second run around, I learned that 2 snipes to the back of Flint's head will kill him by sniping Flint twice in the back of the head. Overall, this fight is a little more interesting than, say, Knuckle Dragger, in that you can fight it out by brute force and probably die a lot. But using a bit of finesse, you can just get behind him and kill him with 2 shots. Anyway, I boarded Claptrap's ship and arrived in Three Horns Divide, where I found Scooter's Catch-A-Ride and got myself a used 2002 Toyota Corolla. It controls alright, but using a mouse to steer is kinda jarring compared to any racing or driving game, where steering is almost always WASD. Regardless, I continued to the Gate of Sanctuary and was instructed by Roland to find Corporal Reese, who should have the power core that I need and is very dead now. But then my game crashed and he was resurrected only to die again because this is a scripted event. So I got the power core back, killed 20 bloodshots in his honor, and headed back for Sanctuary, where I replaced the power core and met Scooter face to face, where he gave me some lean cubes and power cells, and we make this city fly. While we have some downtime, I want to talk about the level design of this game. It's good. Just from the people and the damage in Sanctuary, you can tell that it really needs a break from constantly getting fucking bombed. And the posers tell you the main conflict of the story. Hyperion versus the Crimson Raiders, who basically run Sanctuary. Anyway, then I had to go and find the Firehawk, which is some bandit guy thing, in order to get Roland to make the city fly or something. I conveniently switched to a fire elemental sniper right as I went into an area full of fire enemies, so I can only really use my shotgun here as I left my main sniper in storage. I also had my second death in the Frostburn Canyon. The stupid giant Goliath wouldn't stand still while I killed him. Speaking of Goliaths, I like them. Their main gimmick is that when they take headshots, they take way less damage and become way more powerful raging Goliaths, which encourages people like me to not just spam cheap sniper shots and basically kill everything with no effort. And even if you don't use snipers, it makes the game more difficult, but in a more interesting way than just giving the guys more health, because you have to switch up your style to avoid headshots instead of aim for them. I also had my third death right before finding the Firehawk because I ran into this fire like an idiot, and this led me to search through the Frostburn Canyon, trying to find the path to the Firehawk's hideout that I just went down and failed to remember for about an hour, and I ended up killing myself to respawn once. Regardless, I continued on and eventually found my way to the Firehawk hideout, and the Firehawk is fucking Lilith. If you didn't play Borderlands 1, that means nothing, but yeah, Lilith is one of the 4 playable characters in the first game. The others being Roland, Mordecai, and Brick. When I first saw that they had so many characters from the first game, it kinda seemed like fan service, but I do actually think they're implemented well. Regardless, went back to Sanctuary and realized that I was extremely underleveled for Roland, so I did some side quests until I reached level 12. The side missions in Sanctuary tend to feel a bit fetch questy and not very interesting gameplay-wise. Although on one of these side quests, I did die because I was not paying attention twice, putting me at 6 total deaths. You make that 7, or 8, or 9. Also, I lied. I started the main mission at level 11. Anyway, I went to the Bloodshot Stronghold and got jumped by the gate, and then met Ellie in the dust and got a funny car, which let me get jumped past the gate. And then die twice to Badma, until I realized that I could just shoot him with explosive barrels from outside of the gate. And I got into the Bloodshot Stronghold and died a 12th time before finding Roland in his cell before he got taken away again. After running through this chaos, I found the War Den, which proved quite easy, except the first time, and I freed Roland and got away with a damn fine rescue, and now I have a train to catch, although I do want to talk about that Warden fight first. It was okay. It didn't exactly have a long fight with it, but I feel like it fell kind of flat and that there wasn't much complexity for one of the first genuinely hard bosses in the game. And despite being a hard boss, it was still way too easy to just kill it with a sniper rifle and deception. About that train, I arrived in Tundra Express where I met Mordecai, who was an alcoholic, and his bird Bloodwing, who is an alcoholic. And they're going to be way more important later. And then I wandered into the Buzzard Academy and got fucking obliterated. Anyway, I met Tina, who was a psychotic 13-year-old, and we blew up a train together. That train was supposed to have our Volt Key on it to defeat Jack, but it turns out one of Jack's soldiers, Wilhelm, was on that train, and the Volt Key was not, so I fought him and died twice. This battle is interesting because the main thing is trying to balance between the gun loaders and shield surveyors that Wilhelm spawns while not dying. Also, the gun loaders drop ammo sometimes, and that's your only real source, as there's no ammo shops nearby. Anyway, yeah, I died twice before killing him, and that's now 15 deaths total. And I took the power core he dropped back to Sanctuary, and because they needed a new power core anyway. But little did I know, I did know because I've played this game before, that the woman who's been talking to me in my delusions this whole time is a fucking Hyperion spy, and the power core let her hack into Sanctuary. So Hyperion is now bombing Sanctuary and taking down their shields, so we are going to bring it up. And this sequence is actually super fucking cool. The massive crater and the small fragments from outside of the city and what's left under it is really cool. Also pretty colors. Now, with that being said, the manipulative robot spy is still in my head, and I can't do much about that. Anyway, she told me to go to the fridge, and without a second thought, I went there, and I was quite underleveled, so I realized I'd probably die a lot if I fought my way through it. So I just made a mad dash to the Highlands, where I was even more underleveled, But I actually fought for a bit here because while they're more powerful, the generic enemies here also give a lot of XP and money. They're also pretty interesting. They can turn invisible, but if you use deception or just damage them, you can reveal them, which makes rocket launchers and shotguns funny. Oh, also I died again, but wasn't recording. And then I went to this iridium extraction plant and died on recording this time. That's 17. And then this Thresher ate the lunar supply beacon I was looking for. It's okay, I'll just have to kill it. It only does the majority of my health each hit. Yeah, I ended up dying 2 more times to the Thresher because it killed the loaders that I was going to get second wind from. But I killed the Thresher, got my beacon, and then got killed in a bit that's not even meant to be hard. Woo, that's 20 deaths. Anyway, instead of brute forcing it, I decided to do some side missions. Small issue though, most of the people who give me side missions are in Sanctuary, but to get to Sanctuary I need to complete side missions. Oh, and on one side mission I died because I ran out of ammo. Also, at one point I died for literally no reason. It doesn't count. Anyway, I ran out of side missions to do and grinded Varkids up to level 16. The Varkids themselves don't give much XP. Larvae give 30 to 100 and adults give about 100 to 150. But their cocoon metamorphosis pod things give 300 to 400. So I got back to the main mission with some new guns and a higher level, and ended up dying 2 more times because for some reason I had a super low timer from going down to dying. So I couldn't get a second wind, but I did succeed and now I can travel freely to Sanctuary, and I realized I was 3 levels below the suggestion for the next story mission, so I decided to do some more side missions, and I thought this ground was walkable, and it was not. That's 25 and 26. This was just some side mission, and I did not expect to be thrust into a boss fight, 27. Now I'm only almost 2 levels below the recommendation, so I'm going to head off to that story mission. The goal here is to get Bloodwing back because Hyperion had her in a cage and I immediately died because of the same shock barrel killing both me and the loader I intended to get second wind from. And then I died again because I had about 1 second to get second wind. And then again, this time because I just completely fumbled. I can't blame anything else for this. And this time I died just because I couldn't tell what the fuck was happening. And this time I died once again because I had exactly 1 second to kill something. And then I died again because of this bull loader. But then I made it into the Wildlife Exploitation Preserve, and it was smooth sailing. Just kidding, I died 4 more times. That's 36 deaths. Oh, 37 and 38. And then I found Bloodwing, and she's been slag, and she is a monster. For the record, Bloodwing is level 21. The mission is rated at level 19, and I am level 17. How many times do you think that I died given that information? Leave a comment down below if you want. You ready? Alright. I died 25 times, putting me at 61 deaths. But now, Mordecai can hit her with the trank dart, and we can get what we need. And then Jack blew her the fuck up. And I also died 4 times after that, doing side missions, but that doesn't matter. 65 now. Okay, so now I'm like half a level underleveled, and I continued on to the next story mission. I traveled 1,000 cuts to this bombardment by the Slab King, which I remembered being way harder than it was this round. Maybe I was just way underleveled last time, but this was not that hard. I only went down once. Anyway, I survived and got to meet the Slab King, who is Brick from the first game, and now he's working with us. And then Jack sent mortar beacons, and I died to a mortar even though I was out of its range, 66. And then after taking down some mortar beacons and loaders, we went back to Sanctuary, and I finished the mission. I briefly considered doing some side missions to level up, but I realized there aren't that many that would give me a non-negligible amount of XP, so I went straight to the next story mission where I need to kill one of Jack's body doubles and let Angel hack something to access Jack's office so I can kill Jack. I ended up dying once because I thought I could get second wind from this constructor with my rocket launcher, and I could not. Then I killed Jack's body double and died again because of all the enemies being too far away to hit with normal guns, and I hesitated using my rocket launcher. Then I needed voice samples from the kiosks in Opportunity, and got sniped from like halfway across the level by this loader, and it lived my rocket blast by like 1 pixel. Oh, and by the way, I am extremely rich, which is nice because I'm rich, but also every time I die, it costs me about $100 million. By the way, I'm on 70 deaths now. I didn't mention 69 because it's not funny. Anyway, Jack beat up Angel or something, so she can't help me now. And I can't reach Jack, and he wasn't there anyway. And I retreated to Sanctuary to finish the mission. But the next one I need to do is level 24, and I am level 20, so I'm going to go and do a few hundred side missions 1 minute. After those side missions, I was like level 23 with 76 deaths. Yeah, this part of the game starts to feel a bit like just constant fetch quests with occasional combat breaks in there. Anyway, now me and Claptrap are invading this Hyperion deterrence field, and I assumed it would not kill me. 77. And then I died to this constructor because I didn't have enough time. And once again, for the same reason, I died to a badass constructor 6 times, putting me at 83 deaths. So something I neglected to mention about this mission is that I'm going to a bunker that Jack supposedly hid the vault key in. And after going through that Hyperion area, I visited the bunker and destroyed some autocannons, and then this happened.
You really think I'd protect Angel with nothing but a couple of bots and some flimsy turrets? You see, you're not at the bunker right now. The bunker isn't a place. That's the bunker. Meet the BNK-3R, the greatest defense bot ever built. Designed her myself. Now do me a favor and die.
And I'm not going to describe this fight in much detail because it was like 20 minutes of constant action, but I liked it. It's mostly balancing between taking out the bunker's loaders, taking out its cannons, and just going for straight damage. Also, I got second wind at the end because of the bunker itself, and I entered a real bunker, the Control Core Angel bunker. And this sequence is fucking incredible. We discover that Angel is a siren and that Jack intends to use her powers to open the vault. But in order for us to truly stop Jack from opening the vault, we don't need to steal the vault key, we need to kill his siren. We need to kill Angel. And Angel being in Jack's control is why she betrayed us in Sanctuary and why she seems so manipulative. It's because she couldn't do anything about it, because Jack wouldn't let her. Continuing the sequence, Jack summons loaders and anything he can to protect Angel. But Angel doesn't want to be saved. She knows the absolute piece of shit her captor is, and after Jack has shields up on the iridium injectors keeping Angel alive for a while, Roland shows up and helps you to destroy the iridium injectors. Jack begging for you to keep Angel alive and not having the braided facade he's had for so long is so satisfying. All of the confidence of 2/3 of this game built up, and all crumbling. The contrast of Angel begging to die, yet being in audible agony every time you get closer to killing her, is terrifying, but eventually you do, and Jack is feeling it. And then, as things start to cool down, this happens.
She's dead. Jack just lost his only way to awaken the warrior. We got the vault key, but this isn't over yet. We gotta find Jack and take him out. Lilith, take the vault key to Tannis. I'm going after Jack.
Roland!
So,
You bastard! I'm gonna...
language. What's that saying? Don't pick a fight with a man with nothing left to lose. See, I'm gonna show you just how much you have to lose, and I got the most powerful siren on the planet to do it with. Lilith, kill the Vault Hunter. We've got a date to keep with the warrior. Do it, Lilith.
If you didn't catch all that, because it was a lot, Jack came into the Control Core bunker, shot Roland, killing him, and then captured Lilith. And as Lilith was struggling just before Jack took her to start charging her with iridium, she teleported you to Sanctuary. The last thing she may have been able to do before Jack opens the vault and kills borderline everyone on Pandora was keep you safe. Maybe because she knew you would be the only person able to help her, but I think it's because she wanted to protect you, and she wanted you to destroy Jack. And with that, the plan is starting to become clear. We don't need to destroy the vault key or Jack's sirens. We need to kill Jack. Now, let's worry about the here and now. Mordecai and Brick are still safe in Sanctuary, and they can help, but basically me, Roland, and Lilith are the only people who can stop Jack, and two of those people aren't exactly able to help right now. Oh, by the way, also, I died in the control core, and I'm at 83 deaths now, but that kind of would have broken the pace. Anyway, our mission is to go to the Iridium Blight and invade the Hyperion Info Stockade. And they cut off the bridge, and I fell into water, 84. And then I died to this bullymong, 85. And then 6 times blowing up this fucking helicopter. Anyway, I got some explosives and blew that bridge up. And then I continued to the Arid Nexus, where I need to destroy the main Iridium pipeline, and died 8 times doing it. 99, and that's 100. Woo, boys, we did it. And 101 to 102 and 103. While I finish this mission and die, I'm going to talk about how annoying progression is in this game. In games, I believe side quests should be entirely optional, and they technically are in Borderlands 2, but to complete the game without side quests, only doing story missions would be borderline impossible. And the reason I didn't do side quests after dying so much on this mission is because they're awful. There are some good ones like Hell Hath No Fury and Home Movies, but a lot of them are just incredibly boring. Now, not all of them, but there are literally quests that are just going to a previous area and killing and looting there. That, or there's some boring, repetitive bullshit. Now, with that being said, after dying 5 times to Saturn, I finished this mission. And now we know where Jack and Lilith are. However, I was extremely under-leveled for the next mission, so I did some side missions, and after dying 4 more times, I began the next mission, the Talon of God. After meeting everyone in Sanctuary who could help me, I met Claptrap and we infiltrated this Hyperion area. Then Mordecai and Brick showed up on a Crimson Raiders barge, who proved to help, but we absolutely destroyed some loaders. But unfortunately, after clearing our path, Mordecai's barge got knocked down and Brick went down to help. We can only guess what happened to them. But this is important, we don't have time to help. I continued and pressed on to the Vault of the Warrior after 6 more deaths, putting me at 115. And now I realize that I never explained this. See, Jack wasn't trying to get power or money or weapons from the vault. He was trying to get a creature, the Warrior. This creature could wipe out damn near any bandit or vault hunter that came near it, and Jack could use it for all the genocide and destruction he wanted. And then I faced Jack, and it was easy. I was extremely close to killing him. If I just used my RPG, I could get the kill. But then I drained his health, and right as he was about to die, but not really because this is scripted, he did this.
That it? Huh?
No! The key's charged!
I'm not dying yet. You're too late, bandit! I win! The greatest helium power Pandora has ever seen. And it's mine to control!
The Warrior is now here. And this fight, while hard, is not the hardest in the game. Not because the Warrior's attacks aren't powerful or because it doesn't have much health, just because of the ability to avoid it. There's this underpass in the terrain here where you can avoid almost all of its attacks. However, it does have moves to force you out, like this one where it slams you out, this one where it goes under the lava and makes it rise up. Continuing on, I killed the Warrior with 3 more deaths, putting me at 120 deaths. I'll just let you watch this.
Wait a sec. Let me. You don't want to touch this thing right now, trust me.
Slow down, man. I nearly bought it back there. Hey, Lilith!
Where the hell were you guys 5 minutes ago? If it weren't for the Vault Hunter, we'd all be dead.
I think that's our way of saying we won.
I figured that.
If I never see this key again, it'll be too soon. It's been fun, you alien piece of shit.
What the? Are those vaults?
You know what that means.
Yeah. No rest for the wicked.
Ricky and Mordecai made it. Lilith survived, Jack and the Warrior are dead, and there are a hell of a lot more vaults. Now I have some more thoughts to share that didn't fit anywhere else in the video. Ion loaders, which are introduced later on as generic enemies, I don't like them. They provide shields to other loaders and shock players inside of their shields, which is so insanely unbalanced. And if you go down, you straight up can't get inside their shield unless you go down in it. And there aren't weapons that can pierce the shield, to my knowledge. I liked how certain brands of gear had unique things about them, like how all Malowans are elemental, torque guns have slower traveling bullets, and pangolin shields have higher capacity but decrease your max health. Ammo gets more expensive throughout the game, which is fine, but towards the end, you're paying upwards of $1,500 for 12 rockets, and I feel it would have been less annoying to have ammo not cost your entire life savings when you're death looping fighting Bloodwing. I did briefly mention this, but the way that Borderlands 2 brought back the characters from the first game was really creative for the way it was presented. A lot of games in the position we were when Roland and Lilith were brought back would have used them to make fans happy and not nearly as interestingly as the characters were in here. And finally, although I overall had some negative opinions, I really like this game, and I recommend you play it if you have some time and $20. Although it goes on sale somewhat regularly, as it's a pretty old game. It's also way more fun with friends, and my main complaints are mostly that the combat can sometimes feel very one-dimensional, but still a great game overall. If you like this video, then feel free to comment or give it a like, and I might cover another Borderlands game in the future, but goodbye now.